Nicole, when was the last time you actually listened to your gut?
I always do, because nutrition in midlife is so important. And we know that there's a lot of misleading health advice out there. And most of what we're taught about food is wrong. Did you know that Big Food even pays TikTok influencers to say that ultra-processed foods are healthy when they're not?
I actually find that shocking, but it's no wonder that 1 in 8 people globally, that's over 1 billion people, are living with obesity.
So our sponsor Zoe understands that our health is suffering and that it's time we listened to our gut.
They make your gut health their business. And as we've learned in over 5 years of doing podcasts, gut health is key to overall health.
Your Zoe membership starts by testing your gut health, and it's backed by one of the world's largest microbiome databases and most scientifically advanced at-home gut health tests. Zoe gives you proven science whenever you need it.
Listen, we know better than anyone else, being in the self-care space, that the start of every new year is noisy with loads of health advice that's often full of hot air and rubbish. But Zoe is the solution that you can trust.
Zoe is the science and nutrition company leading a movement to transform the health of millions. And Zoe membership has been proven by a randomized controlled trial, giving you the solutions to listen to your gut, make smarter food choices, and change your health for life.
Go to Zoe.com and find out what Zoe membership could do for you. And because you listen to 40ish, you can use the exclusive code 40ish10 to get 10% off membership. As a Zoe member, you'll get an at-home test kit and personalised nutrition programme to help you make smarter food choices that support your gut. That's Zoe.com. Use code 40ish10 at checkout. Trust your gut. Trust Zoe.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby, and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does, without me lifting a finger. So I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
This episode is sponsored by Zoe. It wanted rinse aid, and I called the dishwasher a greedy bitch. While I was filling her up, I was like, you are such a greedy bitch.
And I am also, as she says in capital letters, so fucking angry that I have to now take on the mental load of how to avoid interactions and think of where I'm going to park.
The full frontal from Jason
What do you want
Isaacs.
to talk about it? What do you want to say? Like, what is there to talk about?
Well, the first question was it his or was it a prosthetic?
Is it that big? Friendly.
It was really friendly looking.
What is friendly? What do you mean by
It
friendly?
just looked friendly. You know, sometimes they're really
But
unappealing.
don't you find that most of the time when you see a penis, it is usually friendly? Hello, everybody. Welcome to 40ish. I'm Nicole Goodman.
And I'm Lauren Mishcon.
This is the podcast that navigates the challenges and absurdities of 40-something life. Every episode, we discuss your dilemmas, your problems, your issues, your rants, it all. We discuss it all because you have kindly shared with us what is going on in your 40-ish something life. And we divulge our own stuff, don't we?
What's going on in your 40-something life this week?
Well, you're rubbing off on me.
In a good way or a bad way?
Well, I'll let you be the judge of that.
Okay.
I bought...
Yeah.
You went very serious. I have bought rubber utensils because I am actually so sick and tired of you slating my kitchenware that actually...
You've been bullied into submission. Is that what you're saying?
You were shaming my kitchenware.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I think that is quite a middle-aged thing to do, to get quite excited over a set of utensils.
Are they exciting?
Well, they're pink.
Love.
And they're rubber.
Love.
And they were like, it's an 11-piece set.
Oh, tell me more.
And they're dishwasher safe.
Bloody hell.
I don't think they're oven safe, but why would I need to stick them in the oven?
You don't need to stick them in the oven.
And they do exactly what it says on the tin.
They sound banging.
Well, you did come in and you did see them. Do you remember? And you said, oh, they're very pink.
Feminine, I think.
You said pink and then you said feminine. And then you said, because it softens up a masculine space, as if my kitchen is like super masculine.
Well, now you're so busy with your ninja accessories.
But the ninja's rose gold.
But the creamy.
Yeah.
But you've got to, as we have previously discussed, the Ninja air fryer with the
black.
Mega Zone is
Yeah.
quite large and black.
Yeah.
You've got a brand new, as discussed on the other week's show, because your fridge was broken, brand new, very big black fridge.
Yeah.
And black ovens.
Yeah.
So I would describe that, if I was Jeremiah from Queer Eye, which I wish to God I was, but sadly I'm not, as a masculine space. But now, with the rubber pink utensils, sugar pink.
Sugar pink. Do you think my kitchen is masculine?
I think it has a masculine energy.
Do you?
I do, yeah. Do you not?
You know what? I am so bogged down with females.
Also, you've got a concrete dining table. That is quite masculine.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I just, the dog's female, the daughters are
Yeah.
female, I'm very female.
Well, that's
like,
good because it balances. It's
It
all about
doesn't.
balance.
It
It's all
definitely
about
isn't balancing
balance.
anything. Yeah, so I thought that was quite a middle-aged thing to do and to get excited about it. And here's the caveat.
Go on.
Because it makes me actually cool, not middle-aged, even though those two things can and do very much coexist.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say that it doesn't, because it does. I ordered them, guess where from?
John Lewis.
No. Much more hit than that.
Homebase.
Is Homebase more hip than John Lewis?
Habitat. IKEA.
I can't remember the last time I bought something from Habitat. Is that still going?
Who knows? IKEA?
No, and no. They were from Tikitok Shop.
What?
Tikitok Shop.
I've never bought anything on TikTok
I
Shop.
actually buy a lot of kitchenware from Tikitok Shop.
But is it like, it doesn't fall apart?
Well, ask me how much they were.
For an 11-piece set?
Rubber set, all matching.
They had better be at least 15 quid. Otherwise, I worry.
What are you going to worry about?
They're going to fall apart.
You know what? Don't let it keep you up at night.
might.
£9.60.
Okay. Let's see if they last you until the summer.
Well, let me tell you something. The last thing I bought on TikTok Shop was a set of like these viral brushes that were being sold in Selfridges for £200, and I bought them for 12 quid.
Hair brushes? Makeup brushes?
Right. And I bought a set for me and my two daughters.
Yeah.
They are still going. We still all use them every day.
You haven't got the bristles all falling out all over the shop?
No.
Wow. Okay.
No.
Okay. I've never shopped on TikTok Shop. I wouldn't actually even know how to shop
I
on.
know you would.
Do you
I know you
Google
would.
TikTok?
I didn't even know there was such a
Do
thing.
you have to Google TikTok Shop? Or is it like inside TikTok? Like, how do you even shop on TikTok? I don't even know.
What do you think? Like, give it a wild guess.
I think you go into TikTok,
Yeah.
but then like random videos start playing at you.
Yep.
But then what do you do from there? Is there a search button or something? You search
There's
shop.
like an icon at the top that is shop.
I
and it
did
takes
not
you
know
into
this.
the shop.
And also, I really wish I didn't know this.
The thing is, everything's so cheap on there. Oh, this is also from TikTok Shop.
That is falling apart.
Yeah.
So let's not be
But let me
promoting
tell
that.
you something, right?
Yeah.
So this is a dupe of a
Stanley Cup.
Stanley Cup. Thank you, can't get the words out. So this is a dupe of a Stanley Cup. Now, and I have got real Stanley Cups because Adam does work with TikTok quite a lot. So he often brings home these viral products, and all of my Stanley Cups, either the lid has broken or all of it started to chip. So this has lasted just as well as a £60 Stanley Cup. So what I'm saying is, don't diss TikTok Shop.
Okay, the proof will be quite literally in the pudding.
Yeah.
Depending on how many puddings you make with your new pink rubber
Are
utensils.
you proud of me?
Yeah, I am actually. I feel really like you've entered the grown-up phase of cooking life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah.
because I bought a new pan, this was a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
And Daisy was making, I don't know, an omelette or something in it. And she went to pick up the metal spoon and spatula. And I went mad. I was like, what are you doing? I said, you can't use a metal spatula in the pan. And she looked at me like I was mad. I'm like, it'll chip it.
Yeah.
So I know these things now.
Wow. This is great.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Yeah. I want to know.
Yeah.
So that's me, you
Okay.
rubbing off on me.
Yes.
I want to know how I've rubbed off on you.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Go on.
You're going to be proud. In my bedroom. Permanently.
Okay, this is weird.
Permanently now. Permanently.
Yeah.
At the end of my bed.
Yeah.
I have a rolled up yoga mat.
Oh.
And one 4-kilogram dumbbell. Just one. Because that's all that is in my house.
Okay.
I found
Sometimes
it.
that's all you need.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, I've started 3 times a week to do some squats.
With the 4 kilos.
Well, I do, well, you told me I have to do 3 reps, but no more than 5.
No, I didn't say 3 reps. I said 3 sets.
3 sets. 3 sets. Sorry, I don't have the lingo, but I know what you mean.
3 to 5 sets.
So I
yep.
do like 2 without, 1 with.
Rep is a repetition.
Yes.
So it's every time you do it.
Yeah, I do 3 sets.
Yep.
2 sets just on my own, 1 set with the weight. I do some dead bugs. I do some...
You do dead bugs?
Yeah. I do... Why are you laughing? That's so cruel.
I just didn't expect you to say that. I did dead bugs yesterday. They're horrible.
I actually quite like them.
Do you?
I do some of those.
Bicep curls.
I do some of these.
Lateral raises.
I do some where you bend forward and do it like that. Like that.
Oh, yeah. Triceps. Doing the triceps.
Don't
Yep.
know any of the words.
Yep.
And then I do the lunges. And I have to tell you, they are my worst bit.
Lunges, let me tell you. I have been training for
agony.
They're always...
Why do they hurt so much?
They still hurt. I
Why?
hate lunging.
I hate
I've
them.
always hated lunging.
Hate it.
I will hate lunging for the rest of my life. And you know what else I hate?
What?
Press-ups.
Well, I do those on my knees at the moment.
Yep.
But I always end with a proper one, proper couple, because I feel like I should be aiming for better.
I am.
Do you love it?
I am
Do you love that for me?
speechless.
I know.
Speechless.
Yeah.
So what days are you doing it?
Oh, and I also do, I don't know what
Who
they're
gave
called.
you this little circuit?
Oh, I found it online. You know, it was an article
Right.
about.
Right.
It was an article about the importance.
You are so stubborn. It is unbelievable. I remember when we first started working together and you used to say that Ollie, your husband, called you stubborn. And I always used to say, I don't find you stubborn at all. But actually, as the years have gone on, he is correct. You are stubborn.
It was an article about the importance of strength training in midlife. And because of my hashtag osteopenia, I don't know why I've hashtagged it, it's real.
Like alleged.
It's not alleged. I had the DEXA scan. It's real. I was like, you know what? I don't want to fall over the step and shatter my
And
hip.
you don't want to not be
Fuck
able to
that.
get out of a chair when you're 80 years
I do
old.
glute bridges. Is that what they're called? Where you
Yeah,
lie on the floor and like
yes.
put your pelvis up.
Yes.
And then on a Friday, I do Pilates with your sister and your mum.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Not as in your mum, just
Oh,
and your mother.
Your actual mother.
Yeah.
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 So, you know, it's not much. It's very little.
I actually don't minimise it because I am very proud of you.
And I do it in my pyjamas. I don't like wearing outfits.
You don't need to because you're in your own bed. Now, the
Yeah.
reason I was saying you were stubborn
Yeah.
is because God forbid you asked me for any advice on this because
No,
you
no
couldn't
help.
bring yourself to,
No.
could you? Why?
I did ask you for some 2-kilogram weights. You didn't have any.
That wasn't advice.
That was just a favour.
Well, also, no. No.
Well, I've started.
What are you going to do? Hold 1 2-kilo weight? No.
This woman said start
No.
with 2.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
starting with 4.
right. Great. And now you've done 2 sets body weight and 1 set with 4. Now you can do 1 set body weight, 2 sets with 4.
Well, I'll get there. It's early days.
No, you
for
can
me.
just do it. You're fine. You're not waking up not being able to walk the next
No,
day. So you're
no,
right. So
certainly
you
not.
can push it a bit further.
I'm not
then.
really pushing it very far, to be honest.
How many reps are you doing?
3.
3 reps or 3 sets?
Sorry, 3 sets.
How many reps?
Oh, 10 to 12.
Great.
Depending on how,
Look
energetic
at
I'm
us.
feeling.
Look at us.
Is that good? You proud?
I have rubbed off on you and
Yeah.
you have rubbed off on me.
Yeah. Isn't that wonderful?
Maybe you could give me a cooking lesson one day and I will give you a PT. I would hate that. Not the PT, the cooking lesson.
You might really enjoy it.
No, I wouldn't.
My children hate it when I cook with them.
Why?
They say I'm a bit bossy.
Oh, you are bossy. Are you? No,
Yeah, I
just
know.
no.
I
But I'd like to train you.
Yeah, I bet you would. You'd also be a bit bossy.
I wouldn't actually.
I might cry.
You wouldn't cry.
I might.
You wouldn't. I've got loads of chat in the gym.
Okay.
I'm good company.
You've got loads of chat at the gym.
I have. Why are you laughing? I have.
I've got lots of chat in the kitchen.
Right.
Tons.
To yourself.
Yes, and that was my 40-ish thing this week.
What was?
Chatting to myself in the kitchen. I wasn't going to bring it to the show because it's a bit mortifying. But as I always say, if I'm doing it, I know that other people are doing it too. So
can I tell you
I
something?
Can't be alone. Yep.
You don't just chat to yourself in the kitchen. You don't.
What do you mean?
You chat to yourself a lot.
I get it from my parents. They both do it.
Do they?
Yeah. I think it's hereditary. But anyway, I peaked this week.
What were you talking about?
It wasn't what I was talking about. It's who I was talking to.
Yourself, presumably.
No, the dishwasher.
Oh dear.
I realised that I did it twice.
You're like Shirley Valentining it.
I know. I realised that I did it twice in 2 days, and then I thought, it's so awful. I have to bring it here because I'm praying that some other midlifers are going to DM us and say, oh my God, thank God I do that too. So on day one, the dishwasher always wants rinse aid. Like always.
Always? Like, are you,
So
chill out with the rinse aid. The worst is when it wants salt.
No, we don't deal with the salt.
You have to.
No, because anyway, it's a whole other thing in my house why we don't need the salt. But it wanted rinse aid, and I called the dishwasher a greedy bitch while I was filling her up. I was like, you are such a greedy bitch. Don't you think I've got enough to do? Every day I'm giving you the rinse aid. What do you do with it?
Every day?
It's not every day, but I was shaming her for it. I don't even know why she's a her. But I was shaming the dishwasher. And then, this is the worst one. Yesterday, I turned it on, shut the door, and then I realised that I'd left my coffee cup out. So I opened it, put it in, and caught myself saying, sorry for interrupting you. I'm not joking. Oh, I actually have dribbled. Oh, sorry for interrupting you. And then I shut it again. I thought, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. I know, it's bad, isn't it? Where do you even go from there?
I think we go to a break. I've no words. I just stop doing it. Just stop doing it. Okay, do yourself a favour and the dishwasher, just leave her alone. Just before we dive into your dilemmas, a quick disclaimer. We are not doctors. We are not healthcare professionals. This is a fun space where we share our thoughts, which could be wrong. They could be right. We don't know. They are just our opinion. So if there is an issue that you are seriously struggling with, please contact a qualified expert. This email came in, Lauren.
I saw it. I'm just like, okay. Because both of us are like chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To talk about this.
Read it out.
Hi, Lauren and Nicole. A dad in my daughter's class seems to have taken what I can only describe as a liking to me. After a few very ordinary, generic chit-chats at pick-up and drop-off, things turned weird one day when I happened to be wearing a sleeveless top and he commented on my arms, asking if I work out. I said yes, and ever since then, his comments and conversation have become more and more inappropriate and uncomfortable. Yeah. It gets worse. This week at pickup, he happened to be walking past my car as I was getting out and he said, oh, wow, this just gets more and more interesting every time I see you. How creepy is that? Because I was wearing a black sleeveless midi dress that is actually very unremarkable and had toddler snot smeared across the skirt. As we were walking into the school, he said, Did you do some working out today to keep that beautiful shape of yours?
What?
And then, she says in capital letters, when I tried to deflect and I told him I have a son as well as a daughter, he said, wow, that's even more amazing that you look so good. I was horrified, but being the people-pleasing, avoid confrontation and awkwardness person that I am, I just smiled and nodded. I think most women would have done at this point. I'm not suggesting that's correct, but I think most of us would have just wanted that moment to go away. He's married. His wife sometimes drops off for extra clarity. I'm an expat in Qatar, so it's hot. That's why I was wearing a dress.
You do not have to justify
what you were wearing.
We're going to get into it.
Please, she says, it is so important to note that I am happily married. I am not flirty. I did nothing to bring this on. I was as polite and friendly to him as I am to all the mums and dads in my child's class, and I do not fish for this kind of attention in any aspect of my life. I am so mortified and uncomfortable with this whole situation. I am worried about the optics of it, that he insists on walking with me to and back from the class. He actually waited for me at my car this morning and shouts things like, "There you are. I was worried I wasn't going to see you today," in front of all the other parents. I mean, it's just hideous.
Wow.
I feel so awful for my husband, like I am betraying him somehow by getting this kind of attention, even though I've done nothing. And I am also, and she says in capital letters, so fucking angry that I have to now take on the mental load of how to avoid interactions and think of where I'm going to park, work out my timing so I don't bump into him, what I'm going to wear, or rehearse fake phone calls so I don't have to talk to him. I just want to be left alone. How do I approach the situation without it tainting my twice daily routine with anxiety and awkwardness? Sorry for the length of this, she says. I'm just very upset and want to hear your wisdom on this topic. Wow. Firstly, I want to say I am so sorry that this is happening to you, because none of this is okay. None of this is appropriate. And I can understand why you are so upset. And all of this is on him.
100%.
But I just don't want that to get confused. No, because the comment of her, I'm wearing a dress because it's hot.
You can wear what the hell you like. It doesn't mean that anyone has the right to make you feel uncomfortable picking up and dropping off at your own child's school.
Or anywhere. Or objectifying you anywhere, at any point. It's not okay.
So this sort of thing, pretty much exactly the same situation happened to me.
Yes, I remember.
I've talked about it on the other show, right? So when my older kids were at primary school, so it was a long time ago, a married man, a dad in one of my kids' classes, rang me up. He must have Googled my number because he didn't have my number.
How did he Google your number? Oh, because it's on
of
your
my
website.
other business, yeah. He Googled my number. He rang me up at 11
But did he,
o'clock in the
before he
morning.
called you, was there signs of him flirting with you?
No.
Right,
No.
okay.
He rang me up at 11 o'clock in the morning. I was driving. Josh was in the back of the car. He was a baby. He was like 1 or something. And he said, "Oh, hi." I will change the name. He said, "Oh, hi, this is John, Jane's husband." "Hi. How are you?" I was wondering if we could meet. And so I'm immediately thinking, well, he obviously wants to talk about
One of the boys.
my son and his daughter. And I was like, "Oh, what's going on? Well, can we meet?" And I was like, "Well, I'm not really going to meet up with you unless I know why it is that you want to meet with me."
And you'd never spoken to him before?
Never. Okay, these were the 2 interactions I had with him. At the school summer fete, I hosted the cake stall. He found £10 on the floor, handed it to me and said, "Here, I found this on the floor." And I said, "Thank you." And I put it in my money box on the cake stall. And that was actually the only interaction that I've ever had with him, the only time I've spoken to him. So he said, I said, "I'm not going to meet up with you unless I know, like, has my son done something? Is your daughter okay? Like, what's going on?" And he went, "Oh, I think you know exactly what's going on, Lauren." I said, "Sorry? I've seen the way you look at me." I was like, I'm sorry? What do you mean the way I look at you? I saw how you looked at me on sports day. On sports day? I don't remember ever seeing him, but I was definitely with Ollie, with a baby on my lap, watching my child. What I wasn't doing was
eyeing him up
or flirting with him, or he basically
made up this whole scenario in his head.
He basically created some sort of relationship or scenario or flirt, whatever he thought was going on between us.
But the arrogance to phone you up.
And also in the introduction, describe himself as someone else's husband.
Right.
He didn't even say, "Hi, this is John." He said, "Oh, hi, this is John, Jane's husband." And you're like, what? Anyway, it took me, because I was so stunned by this random phone call in the middle of the morning. It took me like a good 5 minutes into it to realise that he was inviting me to meet him for sex. I just didn't. I'm very naive. I just didn't twig. And in the end, I was like, I'm very happily married. I'm not interested. And he was like, I said, "No, thanks." And he was like, "Oh, okay, if that's the way you want to play it." And ended the phone call. Anyway, I was so shocked and stunned and uncomfortable. I didn't know what to do. So I went straight home. I told Ollie. He found it completely hilarious that I didn't twig in the first minute what was going on. He just found it funny. I didn't find it at all funny. I told one other mother in the class.
I bet she was horrified on your behalf.
She was very shocked. And then I had to spend the next 2 school years, like this poor lady, basically avoiding him at any parents' evening, at any school play, outside the school gates, and his wife. Because...
Yeah.
But now I look back on it, and I'm so angry with myself, and I understand why she's feeling so angry, because why didn't I say to him at the time, what makes you think that I am not going to put the phone down right now and ring your wife and tell her
you've just propositioned me?
Right. But I don't know what goes on in their marriage. Maybe they've got an open marriage. Maybe he does this all the time. Maybe who knows? But it made me so uncomfortable because I knew I'd done nothing to
bring this
egg
on.
this guy on.
Yeah.
And it was so deeply inappropriate to behave like that. So I really, really feel for her. But having been in this position, I would say don't do what I did and have 2 years of you having to change what you're wearing and you're doing to avoid him. Like either call him out.
No.
Or say something.
I mean, well, she's got to call him out.
Yeah.
She's got to call him out. How she goes about it and does it is another story, because that is not an easy conversation to have.
It's really
Nobody wants to have it.
No.
And he's basically forcing her to set a very, very uncomfortable boundary that she just didn't need the aggravation of it.
Yeah.
You just want to go pick your kid up, finish. That's it.
Yeah.
But he's the one that's created it, not her.
Yeah.
And I think the sooner this is nipped in the bud, the better she will be.
But what sort of thing do you say? Because, if you say, listen, I feel really uncomfortable with the way, let's say, for example, she could say, I feel really uncomfortable with the way you comment on what I wear, or, the way you're behaving with me or talking to me is making me feel uncomfortable. You just don't know how he's going to react. I haven't touched you. I haven't said anything to you.
It's irrelevant.
You're such a prude. Do you know what I mean?
So he will more than likely gaslight her.
Or deny it.
Or try to gaslight her so that she then feels like an idiot.
Yes.
That is very likely going to happen,
Yeah.
because look at this guy.
Yeah.
Look what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's behaving so inappropriately. Whether or not he thinks it's inappropriate, whether or not he thinks it's harmless is irrelevant. Whatever he thinks and feels about it has got nothing to do with it. She feels uncomfortable. It doesn't sit well with her, to the point that she's now having to edit her behaviour and her wardrobe.
Well, the fact that she's writing this note into us and then justifying to us
why she's wearing
what
a dress.
she's wearing.
Yeah.
It's like, you wear whatever you like to pick your child up from school. No one has the right to talk to you about it or be behaving like that around you. I'm quite angry for her, and I really do understand how she feels.
I do too. So I would say get your head very, very straight on the fact that this is about his behaviour making you uncomfortable. And regardless of what he says in response is irrelevant, because all you have to say is, the attention that you give me and the way that you speak to me is inappropriate. Please stop doing it. That's it. It can be that simple and that direct.
Or can you please not comment on what I'm wearing on my body? It's making me very uncomfortable.
And I'm not interested.
No.
So stop. I don't know what it is you're after, but it's not happening.
I'm not in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be very direct,
Yeah.
very clear, and very quick. Get in, get out.
And
I
shut
would say.
him down. Just
Shut
shut
him
it down.
And whatever he responds to, just repeat it. The way in which you speak to me makes me feel uncomfortable. You can just say those things over and over again, or you just walk away. I've said it now. I'm not interested in having a conversation about it. Just stop. I think it has to be that brutal and that direct.
And also, it's quite easy for us to sit here and say that, but to do that is so hard and so awkward,
Hideous.
Hideous. But you'll only have to do it the once.
My feeling is he won't do it again.
No.
Because he's a bit of a bully, isn't he? And he's trying to take advantage, and it's not okay.
It's not okay.
And the fact that she's even thinking about modifying
Where she
her
parks.
whereabouts. Yeah.
No.
This is all his manipulation, and it's not okay.
No, it's not in any way okay.
I
We're not
really,
all right with
really
this.
hope that helps. Please do keep us posted on how it goes. And I'm just sending so much love to you, because this sleazy man just needs to fuck right off. He does.
I agree.
It's fucking sleaze.
I agree. everybody, if you are enjoying this episode, could we please request that you share it with a friend who you think could do with a laugh?
Lauren, you know me, and you know when it comes to answering the listeners' dilemmas and when it comes to food, I always trust my gut. And I also trust Zoe, the leading size and nutrition company.
All the nutritionists that we've spoken to on Self Care Club have highlighted just how much misleading information is out there when it comes to food. Things like the claims that you see on packaging that say things like low sugar or nothing artificial. These are often assigned to actually avoid these foods. Ever noticed a health claim on fresh fruit?
No, never.
Right, well, you get my point.
So it's completely understandable why there's so much distrust and wondering who you should turn to for accurate information.
Well, it's very simple. It's not a dilemma for us. We use Zoe.
Backed by one of the world's largest microbiome databases and most scientifically advanced at-home gut health tests, Zoe gives you proven science whenever you need it.
Go to Zoe.com and find out what Zoe membership could do for you. And because you listen to 40ish, you can use the exclusive code 40ish10 at checkout to get 10% off membership. As a Zoe member, you'll get an at-home test kit and personalised nutrition program to help you make smarter food choices that support your gut. That's Zoe.com. Use code 40ish10 at checkout. Trust your gut. Trust Zoe.
Uh-oh, the last cookie.
You can get a new box of cookies in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Are you my guilty self-conscience?
No, I'm the voice offering you promo code EXPRESS for free delivery on your first order.
Hey, who ate my cookies?
You mean, these cookies?
Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Promotion valid for first express delivery order. $50 minimum subject to availability. Restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Prime Video. In the small town of Holland, Michigan, nothing is ever what it seems. Behind the tulip festivals and pretty houses lay dark secrets that threaten to tear a marriage apart. Nicole Kidman stars in this darkly twisted thriller about a wife and mother whose quest to uncover her husband's secrets may get her more than she bargained for. Holland, streaming on Prime Video March 27th.
It's time for basketball, and Uber Eats is dropping deals on game day favorites to keep you locked in on the action. Like when you're craving a buzzer beater, but also buffalo wings. Or when an upset makes you want to ugly cry into a pizza. And right now, Uber Eats has game day deals from McDonald's, Popeyes, Pizza Hut, Wendy's, and hundreds more local favorites. So you can keep your eyes on the ball and your hands on a hamburger. Order now, only on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
So I want to talk about Jason Isaac's penis. I want to talk about it.
I haven't been watching White Lotus.
I have.
I am going to watch it. I have seen this clip on Instagram. Is he in a toweling robe or something?
Yes.
And he's like crosses his legs.
Well, he's kind of been stealing his wife's sedatives, and he sort of is wearing a dressing gown. And he's with his 3 kids and his wife, and he kind of drops off and it opens up and there is the schlong. The full frontal from Jason
What do you want
Isaacs.
to talk about it? What do you want to say? Like, what is there to talk about?
Well, the first question was it his or was it a prosthetic?
Is it that big? Yeah, okay.
Well,
Obviously.
I was just interested to know whether he actually got it out or whether he didn't. Anyway.
But that's like most people, like a lot of actors do a nude scene.
Mm.
So why wouldn't he? Like a woman gets her boobs out. An actress gets her boobs out a lot.
I only just found out that the girl in The Substance, not Demi Moore, the other fabulous girl who plays the younger version of her bosoms were prosthetic in that film. I assumed that was her body, but apparently it wasn't. I mean,
it's interesting that you assume it's a woman's body, but you don't assume it's a man's.
Yeah, and I
what's that about?
I don't really know. I had to talk to my mum about it.
Your mum?
Yeah.
Had to talk about Jason Isaac's penis to your mum.
I did. I was like,
how'd you bring that conversation?
Well,
I would never talk about Jason Isaac's penis to my mother.
Well, I Googled
it. It is just like, she basically asks me, how are the kids? Like, what's going on? I tell them what they've done at school. Like, Jason Isaac's penis is never going to come up in conversation to my mother. Like, never.
Well, I said to her, I Googled to see if it was a prosthetic or real. Did you know it was a prosthetic? And she said, well, I don't know why you're surprised it's a prosthetic. Often penises are prosthetic in things like that. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, there are, if they have to be a certain way. I think she was trying to talk about erections. And I was like, but it wasn't, Mum. It was flaccid. It was flaccid. And she was like, well, I don't know.
Use the word flaccid with your mother.
Yeah, my mother is, she's cool like that. It's fine. And I said, but, it was flaccid. They could have just used his real one. And she said, well, I don't really know why they used a prosthetic with women. They don't. But then I guess you don't see everything with women. You just see a bit of fluff. And I was like,
but you do see boobs.
You do see boobs, but boobs are different.
They're not, actually.
I don't know.
Why are they different?
They're different.
No, they're not.
Anyway,
no, they're not.
That
is like misogynistic. They are not different. It's the same.
It's not the same as a nunny. It's not.
It's the same as a penis. Why is it any different? A man showing a penis and a woman showing a boob is different. It's not different. It's just nudity.
Anyway, it wasn't real. But you know what? It was a really friendly looking one, I have to say. And people are like obsessed on the internet with this.
Friendly.
It was really friendly looking.
What is friendly? What do you mean by
it
friendly?
It just looked friendly. Sometimes they're really unappealing.
But don't you find that most of the time when you see a penis, it is usually friendly?
Some are friendlier looking than others. It was friendly looking.
I mean, I've been looking at the same one for a very long time.
Yeah, me too.
So, I mean...
It's an old friend.
It's a very old friend. And it's a very old friend.
Yeah, but sometimes you see them and you're like... Bleh, and sometimes you see them and you're like, oh, friendly.
I don't know when the last time I saw a penis was.
Well, that was the last time I saw one was on White Lotus this week.
Well, they like blank it out online. So I haven't actually
seen it. Oh, okay. Also, the internet has gone like wild about this, but they don't when a woman is nude on the show.
Exactly.
So he's had a lot of interviews and a lot of questions and a lot of deep diving
about the penis.
Can you
imagine how annoying that must be?
He's in all these interviews and they're asking him, is it real? Is it prosthetic? Is it real? And he's like, listen, no one needs to know how the sausage is made. You're all obsessed with the sausage. I just thought it was very funny the way he's been handling it. But
So Jason Isaac's penis.
Yeah.
This is what we're now discussing.
That's what's been going on this week. Also, it's the worst
But
series.
it hasn't actually been going on this week. Nothing has actually been going on.
It's been going off online.
Yeah, but this segment is normally like, tell me something in the middle age that's going on for you. This is not going on.
That's what's going on for me. Okay. And now I've got my new varifocal contact lenses.
There you go.
I could see that schlong clearly. Okay. Maybe that's what it was.
How are the varifocals working for you?
Well, great.
Are they?
Yeah. Do you see me wearing my big old glasses today? No. So far, so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're here for it.
I am totally here for it so far. I've got to do a week's test and go back again and report back on my findings. But my findings so far are pretty good.
My findings so far is it looks very friendly.
Do you think I should say that to the 32-year-old optometrist when I go back in? How are you finding the varifocals this week?
Well, Jason Isaac's penis. We will be back on Tuesday with an unfiltered 40ish, which is the sidekick show to 40ish, where we read out all your feedback, all your emails, all the things that you're commenting on over at TikTok. It's a lovely, lovely, fun show. So make sure you tune in for that. And then we'll be back next Thursday with a brand new episode. And then we're back with the Self-Care Club. Please come over and come and listen to that. I think we're doing Rage this week, aren't we?
Rage!
Talking about rage
That's
and anger and all those. I'm just screaming. We're just screaming over at Self-Care Club. It's great. We'll be back next week.
Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Grace, host of Red Rum True Crime Podcast. These cases focus on the true victims of crime. Why not jump in at episode 114, the tragic murder of Jasmine and Aaliyah? The main suspect in this case gave an extremely bizarre interview to a number of press reporters whilst he was drunk and reportedly high. He speaks about an awful lot on camera and has this completely inappropriate laughing and chuckling response when talking about the case. He may even have thought he was gonna get away with the double murder he'd been accused of, but what he didn't know was that 2 undercover officers were on their way to catch him out, and he easily and willingly took the bait. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Red Rum True Crime. That's Red Rum, murder backwards, REDRUM True Crime.